Alrighty. And folks, you'll have to excuse my homerism here because the next biggest riser, not far below Tyler Warren there, is Drake Maye, rocketing up the quarterback rankings, is now my number 8 quarterback ahead of Patrick Mahomes. That's right. I'd rather have Drake Maye in fantasy over Patrick Mahomes. And it might seem insane, but I went to Patriots camp on Wednesday, and to put too much stock into practice, I understand would be nuts. But it's just the Pats are back. You had Vrabel diving into a scrum and bleeding. You had Drake Maye absolutely carving up the Commanders. And what I really liked and what I noted was the offense was just so smooth with Josh McDaniels back at the helm. Last year, everything was so forced and difficult and jump balls, and it's just a painful system. This week, the receivers were running wide open, the tight ends down the seam. There was just time and time again, chunk play after chunk play. They completely gashed the Commanders. In red zone work, about 12 total plays for the 11-11 red zone work. Drake Maye had 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. I believe he completed all but 3 balls, 11 for 14 is what I had him at. Just looking insane. And some of the throws, I mean, there was this back shoulder throw to Booty. You can find it on my Twitter feed. That timing, anticipation, is a throw that only elite quarterbacks can make. So we got that elite arm strength. The guy can wing it down the field. He can make the tight anticipation throws, but also an offense looking so much smoother that he's not going to have to rely only on that because of how many layup opportunities McDaniels is going to create for him. And then you got the fact that the line was holding up really well. Will Campbell didn't allow a single pressure on the day. I know he can only go so far, but still, you were talking dead last in terms of line ranking last year. Even if they get to 20th, that is a huge leap. And he certainly had the cleanest pocket that I've ever seen Maye perform with. And all that going against him last year. I mean, you talk about his top weapon was Pop Douglas. We're going to talk about it in just a second. My God, he looked good. Yeah, I like Pop Douglas, but behind him, he had no one to throw to. Now you add Stefon Diggs. You draft an explosive receiver in Kyle Williams. You'll get TreVeyon Henderson. He had some real pop throughout the camp practices as well. Weapons cabinet, huge upgrade. Line, huge upgrade. Play calling, huge upgrade. Even without those upgrades, last year, Drake Maye in his full games averaged 18.7 fantasy points per game, was the quarterback 11 on those numbers. And he also had a game with the Jets. He had 11 points in the first quarter. He was going insane. So that number could probably be even higher had he made it through that game. And so now you add on all those improvements. You take a natural year 2 leap. You got to expect he's getting close to that 20 fantasy points per game numbers. The other big thing, too, of course, bury the lead here, is that he can run the ball. And we had Josh Allen with Cam Newton call a career-high 9.1 rush attempts for Cam Newton per game. And I'm not saying he's going to use him like Cam Newton. No way. You don't want him taking that many hits. But he did know he's got great size, according to Josh McDaniels. Great, really athletic. Is he going to be a bit of a runner like Josh Allen was in Buffalo? I don't know if he's going to do that or not. We'll find out. Is what Josh McDaniels said when he got rehired here and asked about what intrigues him. So I think a little bit of that Konami upside, the fantasy point stat that I have on him, which is absolutely insane, is he was highest yards per carry among quarterback ball carriers. He added a great amount of rushing points. So it's right here, 0.1 fantasy points per game on designed runs compared to, of course, Jaden Daniels, all at 3.5 plus, Josh Allen at 3.5 plus designed runs per game. Jalen Hurts was 7.4. So the leader in yards per carry last year was at 0.1 designed runs. Looked phenomenal on his scrambles, added some rushing points. But you imagine if you get a little bit more designed, we saw a designed red zone touchdown for Drake Maye in that red zone work as well. So 18.7 points per game, the floor, when everything else around him has improved dramatically. I'll tell you right now, even if you don't buy the draft guide, Drake Maye is my quarterback of the year in terms of value. You have to have this guy. He has rocketed up the rankings. Maybe my homerism is coming through a little too hard, but I'm in love. I think he's going to go bananas and be that. I don't have quite the conviction. You guys who watched last year, Jaden Daniels was my guy. I said you have to hit him in every draft. I'm not quite like that much of a lock. This guy's going to blow up and this is an insane value. But if anyone's going to be him, it is definitely Drake Maye. And I'll tell you, I saw Drake Maye versus Jaden Daniels firsthand, and it was one practice. Drake Maye looked 10 times better. It was phenomenal to see. So Drake Maye, a massive riser and the quarterback I am hammering in all my drafts. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments. Check out some more videos. and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.